Oh my god!
What's up, guys? This is the 239Tonight, and I'm your boy Cosmic Fade, and I'm here joined today by what's left of the Thursday Throwdown with Ability, Pale, and Agent. What's up, guys?
What's going on, guys? How you doing? This is Pale Poner checking in. Excited to get on a roll, talk about the playoffs. We got a week off here. Obviously, Thanksgiving is on Thursday, so we're not going to be doing the Throwdown on Thursday. Let's kick it off. Agent, how you doing today?
Man, I'm good. Just got out of the shower and making some supper as we're doing the show, so I have no complaints.
Agent, you are always eating something, man.
I'll
tell you
when my
what,
schedule is as fucky as it is, I gotta make the most of my time.
Well, this is a good night to get some nutrition in. You know, fill that belly up, get content, because we're going to be covering some topics tonight that are going to pave the way for this nice long break we have leading into the playoffs. Cosmic, what's on the board for tonight?
I just realized I had myself muted, but we have we have all the playoff series that I think we're going to cover one by one. I think that's the plan. From 1 to 8 seed all the way down to 4 to 5 seed. So I think we just get straight into that, and then after that we usually just talk about random topics, what's going on around the league. That's what we tend to do. Cortez isn't here, by the way. I don't even know what he's doing. He said he wasn't gonna make it. He might pop in late, but hey, whatever. So
we don't need him.
Yeah. So do we just get like straight into 1 to 8, or do you guys want to start with the interesting 4 to 5?
Yeah, let's just jump into it from the top down and let's start up with the Hot Heroes and the damn Dirty Apes. What do you think, Cosmic? I mean, did the Dirty Apes have a chance on this, or are the Hot Heroes gonna blow them out?
I mean, everyone really wants the damn Dirty Apes to win, because like it'd be really funny if there's just an upset if the 8 seed beats the 1 seed. Like everyone would love to see like a Cinderella story like that, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Hot Heroes are probably gonna get the easy sweep by how they play and their defensive play, and I don't know about the damn Dirty Apes defense. I know their offense can cause trouble sometimes, but with the defense that the Hot Heroes have, I think it's just easy sweep. It's the best matchup the Hot Heroes could have got out of this. So that's that.
I'd agree with that. I mean, I think the Apes are going to have to play their very best they have all season just to take one game from them. You know, I think the Hot Heroes have a really, really well-rounded team, and the Apes are really going to struggle to get goals. I mean, they got 2 guys that have kind of been doing it all for them up front. And, you know, they're going to have to work as a team, a solid unit, to be able to compete with those guys entirely.
Now, to touch on that for a second, with the Apes roster, you've got Murph on left wing and Hugh Laurie at center, McGill at left D. But then you've got Jofus on right wing. He started off at right D. He's moving up to right wing. You got time to get Steven on the bench, who's primarily a right wing, and Yambag on D with him. And you've kind of seen a flip-flop in goal all the way in time to get Steven. Have played a couple of games over this last 2 weeks or so, both in net. Steven's stats are looking a little bit better than all the ways right now. That's kind of a small sample size, though. He's only got 5 games played at net. Do you think that we see a lot of lineup flip-flop going on for the damn Dirty Apes during the series at some point, trying to get a spark? Or, you know, does McGill just stick with his lineup that he was running earlier and just have Yambag on D with him, Jofus up front, Hugh Laurie and Murph up front with him? My personal opinion, like, I think his best lineup is having Mags and Jofus on D.
Yep, I agree.
And then, you know, if it's Steve or Murph or Hugh Laurie or Yambag, it doesn't really matter. I mean, up front, they're going to have to score goals and they're going to have to find a way to find goals, but they're also going to have to stop the Hut Heroes from scoring on them. And I think the best place that you can play both Jophus and Mags is as a D pairing. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I think that you nailed it there. Now, is Steven going to see some time in net? Could that happen? I don't know.
I hope he keeps them in net all series. That's going to be his best chance.
Yeah, well, I know that the Apes, man, I think they surprised me a little bit. I know that I'm not making any friends by saying this, but they surprised me a little bit against the Rejects. I honestly had them counted down and out. I didn't think that they really had anything left in the tank to even want to win it. I was wrong. They came out and it was a battle, but they pulled it off. And there's one thing that I know about the admins here. They're not going to go down without a fight. And I think that when the back's against the wall, that's probably when you're going to see them play their hardest. So I'm kind of excited to see this series. It could be a huge spoiler if things don't go in the favor of the Hut Heroes. Now, obviously, no one's going to count the Hut Heroes out by any means because they're just fantastic. But it'll be interesting to see if they can take the game. And I think that they might be able to pull it off, even if it's just one of those back and forth type of I don't know what you want to say, like even if they get a couple dirty goals, I think that they could pull one off. If they win one outright, it's gonna be fun to watch. So, and I hope that they break all of our expectations. If they win 2 games, let's say it's tied 2-2, and they make a series out of this thing, there's gonna be a lot of viewers heading into that final night of games. So, I don't know, man. Agent, what do you think, man? What do you think about the Apes?
I mean, I kind of touched on them already. What my thoughts were, they're going to have to play the best hockey they have all season, just to compete with the Hut Heroes. I think that's point blank and pretty obvious with where the standings put them.
Who's in net for game 1? Is it All the Way or is it time to get Steven? Both of these guys are good goalies. All the Way and Steven have both won cups as goaltenders in 239. All the Way in season 2 with the Thundercats, and Steven last season Boys. So I mean, both of these guys know how to play in the playoffs. Who's in net game 1?
So if I had depends. It depends on how Mags wants to approach the series. If he wants to beat him with defense, you would put Drift in net because you got All the Way, who's the better defenseman. But if you want to get a better chance at scoring a decent amount of goals on the Hut Heroes and try and take them into a shootout, I think Drift's the guy to put out offense and then put All the Way in net, because All the Way is a solid goalie within himself, but Drift King isn't a defenseman, so that's obviously going to be a strategical decision made by McGill. So looking forward to see how that goes.
Agent, any thoughts? Who's in net?
I'm partial because I haven't seen All the Way really play in net, and I have seen Steven, and I saw him win a cup doing it. So I'd say a little biased in that fact that I think Steven should be in net, and only Steven should be in net because I know the way he can play. But I have not seen All the Way very, very much, so that's also me being a little biased.
Made by McGill, so.
What do you think their ability? All the Way, Steven, which one are you going with?
Well, man, both those guys, if they're playing good, I don't even know how much it matters. I want to, I think I'm going to favor what Agent said and take Steven in net, or aka Hansel Roberto, but based on that poll. But I think that Steven will he'll hold it down for him. He'll play lockdown in net. If they have a little bit of defense going, he probably will make a majority of the saves, as we've seen in the past. So that'd be my take on it.
You don't like to make very many friends when you're doing live shows. I like to pick up on that. It's calling people out. It's directing the Hansworth or the other people. That's what I like to see.
Now, on the other side, not a whole lot of lineup changes at all for the Hut Heroes. I mean, they had a trade early on in the season. They used to have Soe Jopa. They don't anymore. Dalai Lama, Hockey Town, Marty McFly, C-Doo, C-Dub. That's their 5 guys, and then they got B-Crips in net. If there's one way that the Hut Heroes drop the series, how do you think it is? I mean, they've played great defense. Dalai Lama's been the offensive catalyst on that line. He's setting up guys, and he's making things happen. But defense is where they specialize at. Marty McFly's great on D, as well as C-Dub and C-Doo. Uh, is there any way to beat them? How do you beat them?
I think.
Watch the 7 Days series.
No.
Well, there you go. So, Agent, I mean, what's your advice to the Damn Dirty Apes going into the series? What do they have to do?
They should ask Daly to make a write-up on it and tell the Hut Heroes all incorrect information. It worked out really well for us. No, they got. I'm just kidding. To be completely honest, they're gonna have to be super, super, super solid on defense. That's gonna be the only way to be able to compete, because we already know the Hut Heroes aren't giving up a lot of goals. So the Apes have to be equally as good on the defensive end, and if they're not, they're gonna fall behind in every game, and that's gonna be that. You know, I mean, it's gonna be pretty obvious.
All right, so let's hear it. Predictions for the series. Ability. What do you think? Where do you think the series goes, and who wins?
Man. Well, I think I'm going to take the Hut Heroes, and I think I am going to take them in 5. I think that's what I think could potentially happen. 5 games.
Cosmic?
I think it's an easy sweep. Hut Heroes in 4.
Agent, you got any hope for the Damn Dirty Apes, bud?
The hope I have is about equal to Mr. Ability. I think they're going to go 5 games at best.
I'm gonna go a little bit different. I do think the Hut Heroes are gonna win. I think if Steven starts in net, I think that you could see 2 games stolen from the Hut Heroes in this series. I think the Damn Dirty Apes are not gonna go out without a fight. I think Steve can pull it together and steal it. And I think if you've got Jofus on D with McGill, I think that defensive lineup could give some problems to the Hut Heroes offensively. So I think it's going to go 6 games. I think Hut Heroes in 6 is going to be my prediction.
So we have 4, 5, 6. Nobody's agreeing with each other. But Heroes all the way across the board. Is that what we got?
Yeah, I think we got Hut Heroes all the way across the board, and that's expected. I mean, they are the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Damn Dirty Apes can give them a little bit more problems than what we see.
Yeah.
Moving right along, the next series we got Agent 7 Days and the Wanderers going at it. 7 Days have been rock solid all year. They've been putting up a ton of points. Surprised me, he's a rookie. He's got the Art Ross of the league. He's got the most points. As much as Cosmic tried to make that not happen.
Yeah, really tried. The Triple C's got the best. That's right, though.
Yeah, so, and then you've got the Wanderers, you got DJ and Net, you got Hellcat, Swagger, King Rome at center. What are we looking at here, guys? What do you think?
As much as I hate to say it, I think Agent's team has this on lock. I know the Wanderers are a bit much of a offensive powerhouse. Maybe like a top 3 line in the league, but with King Rome and Swag, they can definitely get the job done. But when it comes to 7 Days, they're well-rounded across the board. You got Surprise Me, who obviously leads in points. You got Pogs, who's just going to feed Surprise Me all series. That's what they like to do. You got Zany, right? He's going to be playing the other wing, left wing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then you got some Comb playing right D and Agent, and then you got
I'm playing left D, so you're a liar.
My fault. You know. Well, then who's your D pair? I really don't know.
You done know. And
you done know.
Alright, so you got You Done Know and Agent, who's a pretty defensive D pair, which won't allow much past them, especially with the trap that they like to play. And then if all fails, you got Master Shotgun to save everybody. So it's pretty hard to beat this team, but the Wanderers are gonna have to play stellar offense in order to give themselves a chance.
Yeah, the 7 Days, I think, has gone a little bit underrated this season. Hut Heroes have gotten a lot of attention because they came out to such a great start they did. They've got B-Crips with the shutout streak and everything like that. But 7 Days have been remarkably solid in every area all season. I think if there's going to be a blowout and there's going to be a sweep, I think this is the series that it's going to happen to. The Wanderers, I'm just not 100% on. They've got a lot of good players, and they had a good season. But end of the day, they're the only team that's not 500 that's in the playoffs, and overtime losses don't count towards your record anymore in the playoffs. A loss is a loss and a win is a win. So I'm not sure that the Wanderers have what it takes to take down 7 days. And I really think that they're just on 2 completely different levels as opponents.
Yeah.
Ability, what do you think on this series here? 7 days and the Wanderers. Do the Wanderers have a chance?
Well, I think that they have a small chance. I mean, 7-man agents team. They've been beating everybody, right? So I can't give a series victory to the Wanderers because it just seems unlikely. Master Shotgun has been playing great too, and he has kind of gone under the radar. But he's having a great year, just like Tomahawk rebounded. I'm not going to say Master Shotgun rebounded because he had a good season last season too, but he's playing fantastic goal this season. So, yeah, if all else fails, he's right there saving the team. Now, as far as the Wanderers go, if Swag elevated his game a little bit, I've heard him say in the last month that he's playing great, and then I've heard him say, "Man, I hate this game." So, and I'm sure we all do that, but I'm interested to see which Swagger shows up for the playoffs. I know for a fact that he loves the playoffs more than anything. He lives for it, and he loves the bragging rights that comes along with putting together some wins. So I think that DJ and his squad there, they could make some noise here. They could win a couple games. Agents team, although playing great, there's weaknesses that that could be exploited. So we'll see what happens. I think this is going to be one of the fun first round series to watch, and I'm not saying that an upset's possible here. I'm just saying that it could be relatively fun to watch.
So, Agent, you guys went undefeated as far as series go throughout the whole season. Obviously, you won the matchup with the Wanderers during the regular season. Are you scared about anything on this team?
Not really. I would say DJ he's going to be the deciding factor if they pull together some wins or not. Because he's the reason they won one of their games. I think he made 22 out of 23 saves. I mean, that's pretty crazy, And I think he's going to have to do that again multiple times in a series for them to stay in it. I don't think my team's the best at any one category, scoring or defense or anything, but you can go look at the stats. We're top 3 in every category, So I think that's been one thing that's helped us a lot as to where the success came from.
Yeah, so I mean, you got Rev Hellcat and Johnny Blaze on D for the Wanderers. You got King Rome up the middle with Edge and McSwagger. I think they have a really solid team. I just think they're a little bit outmatched. I mean, Pogs is a great two-way guy. Surprised me. Obviously has been able to rack up points and goals, and Saney on the other side as well. All these guys can finish. All these guys can score. All these guys can play. I think if there is a matchup to be had in this series, I think it's going to be Master Shotgun and DJ. So I think you're right on with Soldier there. They're both 2 really good goalies. I'm just not sure that the teams really match up all that well. That said, I think 7 Tays is going to sweep this one. I think it's 4 games for 7 Tays in this one. Kosmic, what do you got for this series? What do you think?
I agree with you. I think 7 Tays has them beat in almost every category on the ice, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to bet against King Rome, Rev Hellcat, and DJ and Net. Like that alone sounds like a pretty good lineup. And Swag, who puts the fucking net on demand. So I don't know. They have a good lineup on paper. It's just if they're gonna show up to the playoffs, that's I think they can give 7 Tays a little bit of trouble. Not saying they're gonna absolutely blow them out, but it can be an interesting series. I think it depends on how the first couple games go. If for some reason 7 Tays drops 1 or 2 games in the first night, then I'm not gonna say it's looking good for the Wanderers, but they definitely have a increased chance at causing an upset here. Cause I think, I don't know. I just think they have a solid two-way game, but it can also put the puck in net at the same time. Although the record says otherwise, I think their team can definitely do something, surprise somebody else. So if I'm gonna take this one, I say it's 7 Tays and 6, but I'll definitely be watching this series if I don't have it on the same day. So yeah.
Cosmic said some good things there. I'm gonna change my prediction. I'm taking the Wanderers in 7.
Ooh, big upset. Ability. Why are you taking the Wanderers? What's going on, man? What do you think? What happens?
Well, the more I heard him talk, I mean, we're King Rome. I think DJ's probably going to play the best we've seen him play all season. Swag's going to light it up. This could be crazy. Now I really want to watch this series. Oh man,
Agent, Ability just called you out, man. He said that you're going to lose in 7. What do you think, man? Does that have any chance of happening?
No, not even a little bit. I can assure you that my team will be disappointed in anything less than a sweep.
This guy.
So there you have it. Agent's calling the sweep. Ability's calling for the upset, big upset in 7 games. We'll see what happens in that one. Next up, I guess we've got Victoria's Secret versus the Danglers. Ability, your team's been scoring a lot of goals, and you've been playing good defense. You've been keeping the puck out of the net. You're going up against the Diddling Danglers, who started off the season really strong. I think they were in that second place hole for a long time, almost halfway through the season, and then they kind of just fell off a cliff. They just started playing poorly. Their team kind of blew up internally. He ended up with the tree rule 1, and I think that really hurt them defensively. But end of the day, that's what happens when you can't follow that one simple rule. What do you think, Cosmic? Diddling Danglers over here, they got Light the Lamp. Who else you got? You got Mr. Hollywood in net, Dank Love, Desire Customs, BC Renton, and Bellarman. You think you think Diddling Danglers give Victoria's Secret a run for their money?
I mean, I wouldn't want to bet against my own team, but I guess I'll retrace this in what I'm looking, or what I have to, not have to, but what I'm paying attention for when I'm playing the Diddling Danglers. I'd say they kind of have a team that's kind of formed like us. They have a high offensive power team. They have Dank Love or Santeria or whatever you want to call them. You got all the way. Oh, not all the way. What am I saying? You got Light the Lamp. I mean, they have a high offensive power team, and so do we. So it's kind of going to be a shootout, and shootouts can go any way. One team can't find the puck on their stick, and the other team's just scoring on demand. So I think it's who steps up on defense better. I mean, obviously we have Brick and Odd Guy, which is a pretty interesting D pair. Odd Guy likes to hold it down on defense, and Brick is definitely that offensive defenseman who can get a job done on defense as well. So I think it's all up to Desire's Customs defense, but other than that, I think we take it in 5 or 6. That's my prediction on that, as a part of the Victoria's Secret. So a little bit of bias, but hey.
I don't think, yeah. I mean, I agree with most of what you said. I really don't think that Desire Customs is the only one that's going to have to step up defensively for. I agree with you that the forwards will have to step up defensively. I think all 3 of them will. Light the Lamp is a premier center. He's a guy that can distribute the puck really well. He's a guy that can score really well and set up his teammates. But I think he's going to have to be a little bit more than that. I think he's going to have to turn into a premier defensive center as well. I think both DC, Light the Lamp, and even Dank is going to have to step up their game in the defensive zone if they have any shot in the series. I think they're going to have to transition quickly and get up ice quick. Light the Lamp, has shown that he can do it in the past. Hollywood's shown that he can do it. This is a team of guys that, have gotten far in the playoffs before. Some of them won it. But you know, Agent, I'll let you take it the rest of the way. What do the Diddling Danglers have to do to win the series?
I think it's going to come down to the forward line, kind of like Cosmic said. Goalies obviously are going to play a huge part because they always do. But Light the Lamp has to be the player that everybody talks about. You know, everybody mentions Light the Lamp, and he's in the same conversations as Luka. I mean, he's got to play like that guy. He's got to play at the top of his game for them to be able to compete. He's going to have to play a really, really strong two-way game to help out with the big loss that they had on defense. I think that's going to be the biggest thing, is watching him and DC. I think DC also is going to be a huge part in that, as to assisting and trying to make life as easy as possible on his defense. Because if he doesn't do that, I think Victoria's Secret's just going to run up the score on him. So,
yeah, I think that Victoria's Secret, I mean, you look at their guys, Tom for the Win and Cosmic and Brick and Vigo or Jelly, whoever's on that other wing, just all have the power to just run up the score on anybody in this league. I think that they have the ability to. Offensively, they're dominant. They're a great team, and they play a really good, strong cycle game. Diddling Danglers, I think, you know, they try to play a similar game, and they are capable of doing it as well. But I think they're going to have to be the more defensive team, and I think that's how they're going to have to win. Ability. Who on the Diddling Danglers roster do you fear, I guess, in this series? Who are you scared of?
Well, DC, Light the Lamp, and Dank. Those guys, each one of them, I have a little bit of, I don't know. I don't like going up against any of them. Dank, he's been able to score on me several times. He's done it a couple different ways. You know, he himself with the shot, I don't think has been that productive. You know, this season as compared to, you know, seasons before, and I could be wrong on that because I'm not looking at numbers right now. But I haven't heard his name get brought up a whole lot. That's what I'm going off of. But at the same time, he knows how to generate scoring opportunities. Light the Lamp is known for his offensive ability, and DC is no slouch. He's got a forecheck game, you know, that it's right up there with some of the best of them. I've seen him do it. I've been on teams of his. I've watched him play enough now that he himself, DC, I think, is one of the key players on that team. You know, him and Lamp together, that's kind of, you know, it's kind of like a miniature duo of what you would see with a DeMart and Luka. Now, maybe not on the same level, but I mean, it's right there along the same lines. Those guys are both very talented. So, you know, it depends on how they get going. You know, the first time we faced these guys, they really only had moments, you know, a few minutes each game where they were on the same page and their offense was clicking, their forecheck was clicking. But when it was clicking, it was on, and it was scary to watch. I mean, they were possessing the puck and maintaining possession. So I'm not as excited about facing them first round as I would have been another team or two, but it is what it is. So, you know, we're going to approach this with, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's going to be film footage watched. I've got a week to prepare. I'm going to be looking at tendencies, shot tendencies, position tendencies. I'm going to try and be on my A game. My whole team's going to get together, and we're going to work it like that. Hopefully it's enough. These guys can be a big pain in my ass if we don't prepare properly. So they got a shot. I mean, there's no doubt. I'm not going to sit here and say my team's going to win it in 5 or 6. They might take us to a 7. It just depends on, you know, which DC team shows up. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a fun matchup.
All right. So what do you have it at? I mean, Cosmic and Ability, you guys both play on the team. Agent, what do you got this series going? How long and who wins?
Oof. I mean, we got to go with Victoria's Secret just because of the offensive powerhouse that they are, and with DC being down a true starting D-man. That, I mean, props to him, and I'm glad that he got rid of a tree, but that really hurts that team. So I got to go with Victoria's Secret. I do see it going at least 5 games minimum, and possibly a 6, but that would be best case scenario, I believe, for the Danglers.
Yeah, I think the pick's got to be Victoria's Secret here as well. I think I think their offense is just going to be a little bit too much for their D pair to handle. I think Diddling Danglers do have a shot, though. I think if those forwards really step up their game, they're going to be able to slow Victoria's Secret down some. But I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do it through a full 7-game series enough to take it for the win. I think Victoria's Secret is going to pull it out in 6 games. Ability, Kosmic, you guys want to throw predictions out there for your own series?
Well, look in the YouTube chat here. I don't really know the YouTube names, but shout out to the Iggy Show, whoever you are. They says Victoria will get swept in round 1. If anyone knows who that is.
No, that's a big that's a bold statement there, Cotton. Yeah, I mean, listen, anything can happen. Any team can beat any team, and matchup-wise, mismatches happen sometimes. Sometimes teams just don't really match up well together. But I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't think that Victorious is going to get swept. I think they could potentially lose this series. But I still do think Victorious is going to pull this one out. Ability. What's happening with your series? What's going to happen, man?
Yeah, we win it in 4. Thanks. Good talk.
Oh, boy.
I changed my prediction. Now that we win it in 4, and if I could pull an agent here, our team doesn't get the sweep, I'm disappointed. So, shout out to Agent for that one. But, anyway.
All right, Iggy Show, you got your shout out. Agent and Ability are calling it in 4. Me and Agent think it goes a little bit longer, but same result. Let's move on. I think this is the big series that everybody wants to watch. I think this is going to be the most competitive series that we have. You've got 2 really good teams, both defensively and offensively. You've got the Peninsula Pirates versus Putting It In, and I'm going to send this one actually over to Agent. Agent, what do you think happens in the series? Who's the guys to look out for? What are we looking at with the Pirates and Daly's Putting It In?
To be honest, I can't pick one person to say we got to look out for them. I mean, think those teams need each other. Everybody on the team has their role, and they all do it really well. They're arguably the 2 hottest teams going into playoffs, so I think it's fitting that they have to play each other. I'm glad I don't have to play either one of them first round. I think it's gonna be. I think anybody is going to say if they don't have a series going on while they are playing, everybody's going to be watching it. You know, I think it's going to be similar to our seven Taves and the Hut Heroes. I had 18 people watching the stream while we were playing. You know, I think it's going to be the same thing with these guys when they're playing. Is everybody's going to want to watch every moment of it and see how it all kind of pans out. You know, I think the true battles are going to really come. I think the Pirates defense is probably their weakest point, and I don't really know. I can't really pick one true weak point for putting it in. So, like I said, each player plays a role so well on them that I think it's just going to come down to just honest mistakes and people goofing up to where the series ends up.
Yeah, I think these are 2 really similar teams. I think they both play offense and defense as a committee. They're both teams that like really play as a 5-man unit, and I think that's been the strength of both their teams and why they've been able to turn around their series, or their seasons rather. I think you know, on the Peninsula Pirates, you point out that their defense might not be as strong, but on the other hand, their offensive forwards are guys that are really responsible both ways. I mean, Demart, Luca, and I know we haven't seen a whole lot of BTW in 239, but from my experience and when I've played him and watched their games, he's been a guy that has been really defensively sound as well. And Sniper and Nexus are no slouches. They're both really good players in their own right. They're both really good defensemen, and I think that's all shown when you look at Tomahawk and the season that he's had. I think he's got the 2nd best save percentage in the league. The guy's been playing lights out as a goalie since he's fixed his connection issues from last season. And then on the other side, I mean, you've got Daly, of course, with another rookie defenseman in Tompkins. Tompkins has been playing really well as well. I think he's one of the better defensemen in the league. And Esoteric and Nowogrodzki's up front with Mitagarin. who's been a revelation as a forward. He's been scoring a lot of goals for them, and again, it's another team that really gets back well for their defense and their goalie, and Mac North has had a great season as well. So I think this is two teams that really, when you're playing them, you're playing all six guys in both ends, and I think it's going to be a really exciting series to watch. That said, Kosmic, what do you got for this series, man? What do you think of putting it in and Peninsula Pirates?
So, if I had to pick somebody, like straight up, I think it's gonna be the Peninsula Pirates. I know our team, we played them once in a practice game on accident, like completely out of nowhere, just matched up with each other, and we only ended up playing one period, but it was definitely they definitely gave us a run for our money. I think they're up like 2-0, 3-0 at the end of the first period. So if that doesn't say something, I don't know. I think they really, especially with Celtic D and BTW, I really think they have the offensive power or the offensive advantage on this. So it's all up to putting in how their defense plays, and as well. Regretsky's and Middelgaren, they can get the job done as we've seen, but Tomahawk, he's been lights out as you said, and I played a couple games, especially with 245 when that's happening. Shout out to 245. But anyways, he's been plugging himself in that, and that's been a fun time. He's been stopping a lot of shots that have, defense is like the last thing you think about in 245, and Tomahawk is still out here robbing big saves. So if that's not tough to get to by, especially in a playoff series, putting in is definitely going to get a run for their money. But that'd be interesting to watch. As you said, everyone's going to be watching this series. So
Ability, what do you think, man? What do you got for putting it in the Peninsula Pirates?
Man, this is a tough one. I think a lot of the excitement surrounding this series has to do with two key players, that being DMart and Daly. They played for a title last season, and this is a first-round matchup that's going to take one of them out. Now, even Kosmic made reference to the one time we bumped into the new Peninsula Pirates team, and that was the only glimpse of them we've got. But it wasn't it wasn't something that, like, it happened so quick, and the passes were so buttery sweet that I'm telling you, they're going to be scary. I hope that I feel like there's something in the air, and I know that this is just blah and people won't pay it any attention, but I feel like there's something in the air. It's got that same sort of feeling that when Daly, was missing some games a couple seasons ago, and his team didn't make it very far and whatnot. Now his team's made it into the playoffs, so they've got that going for him. But I just feel like perhaps maybe this just isn't Daly's season, and I could be way wrong. The putting it in, they've got a good team. And I'm not taking anything away from any of them, because Esoteric, Middelgaren, no Regretsky's, if they come ready to play, they might give the Peninsula Pirates, a strong run. And I'm thinking the most likely outcome is that will happen. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how Tomahawk's going to play under pressure. He's going up against an ex-Daly team. If there's one thing that Daly's made reference to, is that sometimes people tend to put a little too much stress on themselves when they play against his teams. At the same time, everyone that plays on his team is trying their hardest. It's one of those things, man. It's like the catch-22 of Daly's team. So I think that this is going to be a fun series to watch. I think putting it in's defense is, it's top-notch, and it's going to have to combat one of the best offenses now in the league. And I think time will prove that statement true. DMart and Luca, that pairing, it's magical. So I'm pumped up. I'm excited for this series. I don't know who's going to win it. It's just a blind guess at a prediction. I'd say that if I had to choose, I don't know. I say Peninsula Pirates in 6.
Now, we talk about, the Peninsula Pirates offense and putting in's defense and all that. But if you go and look at the stats, goals for, they're a goal apart. Putting it in is at 125. Peninsula Pirates are at 126. Goals against, they're only, 10 goals apart. Hits, they're like 3 hits apart. Shots, they're like 20 hits or shots apart. These are two teams that are right on par with each other in almost every statistical category until you get to special teams. Putting it in is firing away on their power play. They're at a 30% power play, which is the best in the league. And Peninsula Pirates are actually struggling a little bit. They're middle of the pack. I mean, they're 17%. But on the penalty kill, Peninsula Pirates are second in the league to only 7 Ks. They're at a crazy 93%. And putting it in is at 86%. It's kind of flip-flop there a little bit. I think most people would expect that Daly's team would be the higher on the PK and the lower on the power play, and D-Mart's team would be higher on the power play and lower on the PK. But these two teams match up really well, I think. I think they're two teams that are right on the same level, and I think it's going to be a long series. For me, I think Daly's team putting it in is going to be able to take the series. I really like Esoteric. I really like Daly's whole squad. I think, they match up really well with just about any team in this league. I think the Pirates do the same. I just have a feeling that Daly's team is going to be able to take it, and that's really all that this comes down to, is because end of the day, wind blows one way or another on, and you could have the Peninsula Pirates taking the series. But I'm going to take putting it in 7 games. Kosmic, what do you got?
I think it's gonna go to distance as well, 7 games. But I don't know. I feel like D-Mar's team really has what it takes to even keep it closer than 7 games, maybe 5 or 6. But I think Daly's team's not gonna allow that too easily. But either way, I'd take D-Mar's team in 7.
Agent, what do you got for me?
I think I'd be disappointed if this game went anything less than 7 games. I mean, the teams, like you said, they're so even on every statistical category. I think that's going to be the case. I do see Dan's team taking it in 7, though. I think it's just going to really come down to that forward line of Luca and Dan. I think those two are going to figure out a way to get it done. Those are 2 really high IQ hockey minds on the team, and I think they'll figure out a way to get it done.
All right, so let's do this for every series, but let's start with the Pirates and putting it in. Kosmic, if the Peninsula Pirates win, who's the guy that steps up on their team? Who's the guy that leads the way?
Tomahawk, for sure. That's my guess. Daly's team's not going to give him any easy shots. I know Daly really values his team on quick passing and cycling the puck, so Tomahawk's going to be facing a lot of quick shots from a lot of different directions, but he's really been on top of his game, so I think he stands on his head and puts the rest of the team in his backpack while they just go away on the score sheet. So,
what kind of backpack?
I don't know, it's a pretty big backpack.
You have a nice selection of them, so.
I know, right?
Ability. If putting it in wins, who's stepping up for their team?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I will say, I'll say Esoteric. And I say this because Middlegaren, he came on board. He's already been stepping it up. No Regretskis. He's been on that team for a minute, and he's just stepped it up the whole season. So I think that the only person on there that I feel has a ton left in the tank that just hasn't exploded yet is Esoteric. And I want to see it, man. Now, I know Daly's already said that he's playing the exact game. Esso's playing the exact game he wants to play, 2-way. We know that Esso's a 2-way player. No doubt about it. And he's good at it. I want to see that offensive capability where he starts lighting it up. And maybe I'm asking too much of the guy because he is playing good. But I want to see it. I think that given the way that this matchup's going to unfold, it might take a little Esoteric magic in order for putting it in to win the series. So let's see it.
Agent, what do you think? Who's the one stepping up on either of these teams that's going to make a difference?
On either team,
one guy.
I picked the Pirates to win it, and I think that's going to be a team game between those guys. But I think if putting it in can get it done, I think the man that has to step up is Daly himself. I think he needs to take charge, find weak spots in that team, whatever few ones there are might be in the Pirates, and exploit them. I think that's the only way that team's going to pull it out.
All right, all right. Let's run it back a little bit. Let's go on to Victoria's Secret and the Diddling Danglers. Cosmic. If the Diddling Danglers win, not Victoria's Secret,
Yeah.
if the Diddling Danglers win, who's the guy that's stopping you?
Who's the guy that's stopping us? I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be Lamp and Dank just laying up the scoreboard against us. I think that's gonna be the way they're gonna win if they're gonna beat us. It's just gonna outscore us, plain and simple. I mean, I think defense is gonna play a big part of it, but I don't think they're gonna really stand a chance. Both of our defenses, so it's gonna be a very offensive battle. It's a big shootout. So if they're gonna beat us,
you don't have a Norris winner on the team over there?
you know what? I mean, if he wants to call himself a Norris winner, I mean, it's fine. I'm not gonna say I agree. I'm not gonna
Well,
say
I know. I already know how you feel about being on the team now. I just heard it, so
Yeah.
that's all I was confirming.
No. But yeah, that's how it's gonna go. I think they're just gonna outshoot us, and yeah.
Ability, same question, but for the Victoria's Secret, who's the guy that's going to step up for your team and win you a series?
Oof. Guy that could step up and win. I'll tell you what. Man, I'm gonna go with Tom for the win. And he's been this dude. You know, first year in the league, and I was fortunate enough to be able to draft him. But he's impressed. I think he's impressed everybody, even the guys on my team this entire season. There's been games where we've chirped each other for having some errors. The only person that doesn't get chirped is Tom. I mean, the guy, and he might have a couple errors here and there, but he plays great. I mean, consistently great. And it's a true two-way. There's been so many goals that could have been scored had he not been in the lane to block them. Now, the same thing can be said for a couple other guys on my team. Everyone's been playing really well. But I say that Tom, the way that he goes about scoring, the way he goes about finding loose pucks, he generates opportunities that some centers don't. So he's my guy for the series. And that's not to take anything away from anybody else on my team because they're all playing great.
I like the pick of Tom. Let's talk about Tom for a second. I think this guy is hands down my favorite for the Selkie. I know he's not a player that everybody has talked about a whole lot. He's not a guy that's on many people's radars. But he's a guy that has really stepped up defensively in what I've seen as far as a player. It's his first season in the league, so maybe he's got more to offer aside from that. But I mean, he's both playing offense and defense on a really high level on your team, and I think he has been playing lights out for you guys, and I think he is a really good pick for you on who's going to step up for your team. Agent, Diddling Danglers, who's gonna seal it for him? Who's gonna steal this series?
For the Danglers? Oof. I was just gonna I had my whole speech already planned up that I was picking Kosmic, not just because I was on the show with them. Reason being of that is just because that the Danglers have a really, really good forward line. I think it's been talked about plenty that they have a top forward line in the league, and you guys need to keep the puck away from them as much as you can. You need to keep that time on attack and do the best you can on that end to assist your defense and your goalie. And as a team, I think that's going to help you out and make your life a lot easier if you are keeping that time on attack up.
All right. So I guess the next series on the agenda, we got Seven Tays and the Wanderers. Kosmic. Who on Seven Tays is going to step up and take that series for him? Who's the difference maker? Who is it?
It's either gonna be Shotgun, because he's just gonna continue being the brick wall that he is, or maybe if Agent can stay out of the box a little bit more, I'd pick him. But I don't know about that. But it's alright though. I'll stay with Shotgun on this one. Shotgun, really, I play with him on a different team, and even though we're getting outshot and we might be losing in a time of attack, the score will be like, you only allow one goal, and the shots will be like 27-14, and we'll still win. just because Shotgun's just always in position. He always seems to be in the right spot, and he doesn't move too much. He's not all over the place. He's not making the big desperation saves. He's just going to keep himself square to you, and he's not going to allow you easy goals. So he's really been a key player on that team. Even though it's really hard to beat the 7Ts on defense, when that does happen, Shotgun's there to save today. So he's really been the saving grace for the 7Ts team on defense. So that's what I can see. Shout out to you, Shotgun.
Agent, who's going to stop you? Who on the Wanderers is going to step up and make it happen?
I hate to say it, but I think Swag's going to have to step up. I think he's going to have to play like his old self back in the Gonna Senate days, and that's gonna be the only way that it happens.
All right, so Swagger, you're on notice, man. You gotta step up and make it happen for your team, the Wanderers. Ability, 7Ts or Wanderers, which one's gonna win? And well, we already know what you think, but who's gonna step up? Who's gonna make the difference?
Well, I think that there could be a couple players. For the Wanderers, I really do like the offensive capability of Rev Hellcat. Now, she's a defenseman, obviously, but she plays defense great, so that's not in question. But she also has a hell of a shot, and the girl's got some moves. So I think that she could play a pivotal role in keeping the Wanderers in each game after game. I think that she's been underutilized on that squad, and she's got hella potential. So, and King Rome, King Rome too. I don't think that he's put together 40 points on the season, which isn't bad, but it's I think a little lackluster for what he's capable of too. So, it's this series too. It's gonna be who comes out and plays. Now, Agent's team, they've been coming out all season long, without a doubt, overconfident even, but they've been getting it done. So, more power to them. The Wanderers need to perhaps gain a little bit or take a little bit away from what the 7Ts or Taves are doing, and perform likewise, because they've got it in them, man. They can make a series out of it, just as the Diddling Danglers can make a series against the Victoria's Secret. These teams in this specific intro to the playoffs, this first round, it's there might be more than one upset. You never know how this is going to go. So I'm excited to get it going. I think that the Wanderers, man, they've got, if you see McSwagger step it up, King Rome step it up, all of a sudden, Rev Hellcat's putting in a couple goals and DJ's playing great, they could really make a series out of this. So it's going to be fun to watch.
All right, and last but not least, we've got the Hut Heroes and Damn Dirty Eight. For me, I think the guy that steps up in this series for the Damn Dirty Apes, if they're going to win, it's going to be time to get Steven. I think he's the guy that they go to in net, and I think has the capability of stealing games in net. That's my guy on the Damn Dirty Apes. Agent, who do you think's going to make it difficult for the Hut Heroes to go on? Who do you got on the Apes?
Why you gotta take my guy, man? I I hit on it earlier talking to the series that I think I'm biased because I haven't seen all the way play, so I'm assuming that Mags is going to be putting Steven in net, and I think that he should put him in net. I think that's Steven's best position by far. I think that was shown kind of this season that he is a goalie, and he does it really well. And I think if he can hold his own, play how he can play, I think that's the only way that the Apes are going to take it in games.
Kosmic, who's making it happen for the Hut Heroes? Who's the straw that's stirring the drink?
I'm going to go to the goaltender again. I'm just going to say B-Crips. Everyone knows that B-Crips is it's just something else in between the pipes. Doesn't matter doesn't matter what your offensive capability is, doesn't matter how well you cycle the puck, he's always just going to be there. Some people don't know how, and a lot of people are going to stay that way, but I don't know how he gets it done, but B-Chris is something else, and he's just going to continue his game, and the amount of shutouts he had this season, regardless of who's in front of him on defense, is just crazy. So I think he's just going to keep that streak going all the way to the playoffs. He really wants this. I don't think I was in a party with him once, and he said he's never won a cup in any league he's ever played in. So I think this is the team to do it on. So get it done, B-Crips.
Ability, what do you think? You got somebody different besides a goalie, or is this the goalie series to watch?
Isn't that unbelievable for anybody listening in after watching the season that B-Chris put together? Isn't that an unbelievable thing to hear, that he hasn't won a cup in any league? I mean, whew, I've got, Hockey Town. He's someone you got to watch out for. The combination of, him and Dolly and Marty, the way they move the puck around, Hockey Town is kind of like that silent assassin. He buries it. When he gets the opportunities, he just buries it. So you got to watch out for him. As far as the Apes go, I think that, those guys, I think Hugh Laurie is, he's going to be a key factor if the Apes are going to get anything going. The back of the ice for the HUD Heroes with C2 and C-Dub, and then that triangle they create with Marty, that in itself is so hard to penetrate and get good scoring opportunities on. I think Hugh Laurie's going to have to work his magic in this series. Throw some shots on net, see if you can't get a rebound, just whatever means necessary to get the job done here. So, I don't know, man. It'll be fun to watch. I think each one of these matchups in the first round, they all are so different and unique in their own right, depending on who comes out to play. Each one of these could be just a field day to watch. So, yeah, I don't know.
All right, so another thing I had on the schedule here, we've got kind of a unique situation going on in the playoffs. We're coming up on American Thanksgiving. That's in 3 days now. And because of that, we are having a bye week before the playoffs. Do you think, Agent, Ability, Cosmic, you guys have all been captains. You've all been in the playoffs before. Do you think that this week off is going to have any effect on the playoffs? Do you think that there's a team out there that's going to come out either underprepared for their series or that's not going to be just right going into the series? What do you think, Agent?
I think it's going to play a factor for your first game at most, unless teams are practicing. And my team doesn't practice, then nobody cares to, and it hasn't affected us. But I think it's going to play a factor for that first game. Otherwise, I don't see it being much. I would rather not have a break. We were gonna find a way to get our series in one way or the other. But I don't think it's a bad thing either for everybody to take a week off and kind of just take a break, get away from the game a little bit, and enjoy it. Maybe even play with some different people. Finally, now not playing with your own team. But I don't think it helps anybody necessarily, but it might help a team steal a game from somebody that they shouldn't.
See, for me, sometimes I feel like, players themselves can get out of it a little bit when it comes to long breaks off of competitive hockey. A lot of times, like you said, you'll go in and you'll practice, but not really practice. You play around with friends and you may not be winning or you may be winning, clown pounding people. It doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, if you're not on edge and you're not playing, as a competitive player over that time, I think that can take something off. And I think you may, sometimes some people may lose it a little bit. Ability, do you see that happening with any of these teams? Do you think that really affects anything?
Well, time off usually isn't the best of things, especially when some teams are on a roll. It can work both ways. Sometimes people need a break. They get a little burnout, they get a little stressed out, they need a break, they come back, they're re-energized, and all of a sudden they're playing the best hockey they've ever played. On the opposite end of that, some of the guys who are playing really well could eat a little too much food, could have a little bit too relaxing of a holiday weekend, and they could come back and be completely out of form. So this is going to have some bearing on the first round of games, I feel. And I say that because usually if you get down early, you get down a game or two, that can really make or break your series. So some teams they can't battle back, and some of these other teams are just too strong to battle back against. So they're also, a team or two might run into. I've heard already rumors that a team or two might run into an issue where one of their guys may not be back at a specific time or start of a series or whatnot. And, hopefully, no giant scheduling issues arise because of it. But Yeah, it's going to play a part. I don't know to what extent. I think everybody's kind of hyped up. It's been a long season in my eyes, and I think right now it's crunch time. This is when everybody gets that second win. Things are about to get pretty serious. This is the fun time of year, right? So I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. Cosmic, any thoughts?
Um, I don't think the break really takes in to a huge part. I mean, obviously, if you're practicing with your team, you get those 1 or 2 warm-ups in before your series. I think you would be fine. Like, you take the team that you're going up against, and you say, hey, this is their weaknesses, this is their strong points. We're gonna work around and work on this in this warm-up game. Because that's what we do. We say, hey, this is what this team likes to do, so we're gonna do this to beat it, and we're gonna work on this warm-up game, and everyone gets on, and you play some random team, probably some LG team since like 9:30, and you walk them like 10-0 real quick, and then you get to your series real quick, and you get the job done. And so yeah, it's like I've heard Deli say multiple times on the throwdown, it's like picking up a bike. It's not like you're gonna forget how to skate or anything, or your stick handles aren't as good. You're just moving right and left thumbsticks. It's nothing special. So I mean, it's just playing a video game. But other than that, I don't think it's anything crazy. So
You did mention
the situation.
Yeah, I mean, you did mention one thing. With the week off, teams are going to have the ability to prepare for their series. They're going to have the ability to watch our games. All of our games, or most of our games, are streamed. And you can go back and look at most of them either on our YouTube or on specific players' Twitches and whatnot. But ability, Agent, you kind of talked about it on eSober last week, how you match up for the Hut Heroes. You guys went in and you kind of self-diagnosed what you did as a team and what the Hut Heroes were going to be looking for, and said that you came out and did stuff completely different because you knew that that's what they were going to be keen on. Do you think teams are going to take advantage of that situation? I think, like for me personally, when I've been in the playoffs, really anything that I'm looking at is what's going on in my series in the game. I don't think I've ever actually stopped and sat down and prepared for a series to look at what people do specifically. I kind of just look at what they do to us specifically and try to adjust in game. But do you think that plays a factor at all?
I would say some. Like I guess, like you said, in eSober, Marty is in there as well. We were talking, and Marty 100% said they game planned for one thing, and our team did something completely different that they weren't even expecting. So maybe it threw them off to start, or they just ruined their night. I'm not sure, but it can play a factor. It just really depends. I think every team needs to be able to do that. I think they need to be able to turn a switch and switch a game style entirely mid-game or mid-series. I think if you can't do that, I think you're going to struggle, because teams in this league can adapt so fast, and they can adapt to a play style or how a team is doing one thing and just take advantage of it over and over. And I think that can lose you a series come playoff time. If you can't adapt, improve, you're going to fall behind. You're going to lose your games really fast.
Ability, any thoughts? Be watching game film on the Danglers this week?
I always give a little attention to the next opponent, and I'll do the same. There's, like I said, there's some tendencies each players have, and the playoff time is when you formulate a new plan and you switch it up because your original tendencies don't always work. I learned that from another person in this league who, after I heard it a couple times, I realized this was a thing. This was how it needed to be done. You had to treat this like real-life sporting event. And it's funny because I'm not one to usually do that sort of thing. I treat video games like video games. But, one change leads to another, and this has been a season of change for me. So I'm going to take it a little bit more serious than I probably should and see if I can't gain something from it. Lord knows I'm going to need all the help I can get heading into the playoffs here, because there's a lot of strong offensive teams. Everyone's capable of putting out a ton of goals. So, yeah, man, I'm pumped up and ready to go. But do your homework, get your practice in, enjoy some food, and then it's grind time. So good luck to everybody out there, all the teams.
All right. The last thing that I got on the docket is really we're looking at upsets. Seven Days, Hut Heroes, and Victoria's Secret are the big three up there. I don't think you can call either of the Pirates or putting it in winning an upset. I think everybody expects that to be a pretty even series. So that said, of the three teams, who's got a chance to be upset? What do you think, Cosmic?
Obviously I can't say my team because that's just a foul. You know what? I'm gonna say just get the people talking. I'm gonna say Hut Heroes. They have the possibility to get swept. I mean, obviously they're the only team in the league who has lost a series. I mean, obviously it was to 7 days, but I'm gonna give Agent a lifeline in this one. I won't talk about a team like that. So I'm gonna say Hut Heroes and Drift King. If he plays net, that's just gonna be a different series for Hut Heroes, because I think Hut Heroes is more of a defensive team, and they're not really. Obviously, they can put the puck in the back of the net. They like to play the cycle behind the net and all that. But with Drift and net, that's adds a whole new level to trying to score. Because some people might rank goalies, especially from last season. It went like B Crips, Drift King, and then Shotgun. This year it might be different because I think Shotgun is definitely, although he put up solid numbers last year, I think he gotten much better as well over this season. So I think, and they lost to the second, or arguably the second best goalie in the league. So you put one of the returning best goalies against a non-offensive powerhouse, but a defensive powerhouse nonetheless, and it could make an interesting series. It depends how the game wants to treat them, to be honest. The series can swing anyway with a couple of puck bounces. So, yeah, that's a hot take on the Hut Heroes.
Agent, what do you think, man? Who's got the chance to drop the unexpected?
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Cosmic, even though I really, really don't want to.
I really don't want to either, but.
Well, I mean, I could pick your team, but you know, I don't see that happening. So, I just think that the Hut Heroes have been on I won't say a skid, but they haven't been playing at the high caliber team as they were to start. They kind of were falling off towards the end. Daly hit on it in the throwdown that they've been kind of dropping more games as the season's been going on here towards the end, and then the last series of the season they lost a series. So I think that plays a factor. That, I mean, you can blame it on the jet lag. Yeah, they had some players that were gone and overseas and doing their own thing. Yeah, live your life. But I see that playing. What do you want to say? Playing a part in their series, I guess, would be the simplest way.
Ability? Any thoughts? Who do you got?
I think that really the Hut Heroes, man. I don't think they're falling off. I think that they are one of the teams that are well prepared, and I mean, you know, I think that the King Rome McSwagger DJ combo, I think that has a little bit more potential to ruffle some feathers, right? And our agent's team's been playing great. I don't know what he put in the team water fountain or what it was, but everyone seems to be in the same mindset on that team. You know, I've heard him say it. You know, anything but a sweep, and we consider it a failure. And that's a great way to go about, you know, being a captain and leading your team, and the team bought into it. So, I mean, more power to him. But at the same time, I don't think that, I'm not scared of Agent's team. Like, Agent's team, the first time we played him even, I honestly thought that it was going to be a shoo-in. I thought it was going to be an easy win for us. There's a couple factors that played into that series, and I won't get into, but we lost that series. So that is what it is. And then Agent goes on with his team to have a successful season. So I can't take anything away from those guys. But at some point, I think that ends for that team. And it probably won't be in the first round, but it could be. They might. I wonder how they're going to perform if the Wanderers are able to take that to a Game 7. Both teams have the potential here to, really create a storm. And 7 toes or 17. 18, what do you call your team? Which one is it?
On what day?
Yeah, right. But I mean, they're expected to win, and they've been playing great. So, but I think that if there was one series that I'd watch more than the other ones, that would probably be the series.
So I'm gonna go a different direction. Apparently, of the three teams that could get upset, I think I'm gonna pick Victoria's Secret. As much as Cosmic and Ability are not gonna like that, but it's nothing to do with your team at all. It's more of to do with the team that you're playing. Diddling Danglers are a team that I think can have the ability to put it together and make things happen, as proven by the first half of the season. I don't know what's happened, after that first half, but if they can get their ship righted on this bye week and start playing like the team that they're capable of, I think they're going to give you a little bit of a run for your money there. Light the Lamp, Dank, Desire Customs, BC Renton, Hollywood, these are all guys that are capable of playing at a high level. And I haven't seen a whole lot of Bubba Man, so I don't know what to really expect from there. Obviously, if he was better than a tree, he would have been playing before a tree. But I think that Light the Lamp and DC and Dank have the capability to play defense from the forward position really well and make things difficult. And I think out of these three teams that are at the top there, you guys pulled the hardest matchup of these three. So Diddling Danglers are going to get my support there as far as who I think can really shake things up in this first round. That's pretty much all I got, guys. Does anybody else have anything different?
Is there any topics that anyone wants to bring up, like on the website or anything? That's usually what me and Cortez do at the end of the show. So any ideas that aren't on the agenda? Bring it up.
Yeah, Don Silva added some new merchandise to the store today, and I don't know if all of you have been on the website to see it, but there is now, and I'm proud of this, but there is now a hashtag Get Pad Stack T-shirt that Don Silva named after my 8-year-old boy. It's called The Will. And my son is just ecstatic about the shirt. I immediately placed a pretty good size order today for some 239 gear. But mad props to Dom for taking the time to make a couple new products. There's now toddler and infant. I think there's toddler and infant clothing. I think there's a onesie available. So the merchandise is a real thing, man. It's a good way to support the website. So I hope everybody gets on that, takes a peek.
I think I saw the shirt earlier today, and it looked pretty cool. It was actually it wasn't just like anything thrown together. It was actually looked pretty nice for something that would be get pad stacked, which some people might not like. It came out pretty well, so.
Yeah, man, it looks pretty sweet. I think all the shirts in general have come out looking really nice. Dom Silva and BTW have done a really good job with setting that whole thing up through Teespring, getting all those designs out there. I think that's a really cool thing. Again, it's not something that anybody has to participate in or throw their money at it, but I think it's a cool thing for the 239 community to have, and I think a lot of people have been enjoying that. I hope it stays up there, and I hope that keeps on going. I'm sure it will. I don't think anybody has anything against it or moving forward.
Oh, also, I have to give a giant shout out to Kinky PB, because that article she wrote, that the Sunday, what's it called? The Sunday
Spotlight.
Sunday Spotlight.
Yeah, that was incredible, and that was the first one. Holy cow! So, everyone loved it. Everyone that I've talked to loved that article. You did a great job on it. So, big shout out to her, man. New to the league, already making an impact and letting her voice be heard. So, can't wait to read some more of the stuff she puts out. Highly entertaining.
Yes, it was. Big shout out to Kinky, man. I think it's a real testament to our community as a whole, and that somebody can kind of just come in and be welcomed, you know, with open arms, and understand that you can really do whatever you want as far as the media and the site goes. You can put into it as much as you would like, and people are going to support it. So I think that's that's really awesome, and I've been happy to see, you know, a bunch of newer players step up and you know, enjoying us as a community.
Yeah, and glad to hear that from a new admin standpoint. I saw Pale Pony. You got admin on the site, right? And it happened.
Yeah, I did. I kind of got abducted by a white man and put in the admin chat and had no say whatsoever into it.
How's that going? Is it anything special, or do you like ESO? Do you want to get removed?
No, listen. I appreciate the recognition, and I'm thankful for the ability to do so. I really enjoy my 239 as a whole, and I really enjoy being a part of it. And the more I can be a part of it, the better it's going to be. I really have had a really good time in this league since I joined, and I'm happy to do whatever I can to make this community better and to, you know, continue playing some competitive hockey, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? I mean, I don't know what my role as an admin is really. I mean, I kind of just am going to take it as I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing, and, you know, if they need me to do something specific, I'm more than willing to do whatever I need to do. But yeah, I'm just thankful for the opportunity to do so.
I saw that. I was gonna give a shout out, but that was a perfect transition into it, so that's how I was gonna go. But unless if anyone's got anything else, I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, congrats Pale, on the admin bump, the promotion that you received. Well earned, man. You've done a lot for the league too. Ever since I've joined, you've been one of the guys that week in, week out, you've been putting stuff together. You've been formulating new ideas, and you are you know, a hell of a media member. So I'm happy to be able to work with you, you know, every week. So it's well earned, man, and I have no doubt you're going to do a great job. So congrats on that.
Absolutely, thanks, man.
Now I'm gonna check the Discord because I haven't. Oh, Agent's gone. Oh,
yeah, Agent bounced out. Apparently his phone died, so he's done.
What else is new? Well, all right. Well, I guess that's gonna call it. This has been 239 tonight. Wait, hold on. Quick question.
This has been the Thursday Throwdown.
No.
We can't miss. We can't miss a Thursday Throwdown. This is the longest episodic running show in 239 history.
239 tonight. Come on now. We've established this. I think the longest episodic show, 239 history, is taking a back seat.
This is 239 Throwdown tonight.
239 tonight. Whatever. I'll give it. I'll allow it. All right. Well, this has been Cosmic, Pale, Ability, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.
And Agent.
Oh, and Agent.
See you later, guys.
Know what?
Good luck in the playoffs, everybody.
All right.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh!